If you're interested in doing your own divination or you're looking for some little craft accents to color and customize for your projects, Cat's Charm Bucket paper version kit might be just for you. This set of 205 charms comes in a PDF that you can print yourself. You only need 4 sheets of your favorite paper or cardstock, and then you can read only or print the information pages at your discretion. You can leave them all black and white or customize them as much as you want. Color them in, glue them to dice or wood biscuits, and so on. My Linktree, linktr.ee/CATtheMinion, gives you easy access to Etsy, DeviantArt, and YouTube. Normally, this would only be available as the PDF download, but at current, there is a printed draft set on printer cardstock and a printed proof set on the same. Each of these is available as a packet with some chapbook packs and a smallish sized piece of mystery art. The proof, draft, and PDF sets are in the divination tools section of my Etsy shop. You can also purchase the PDF download from my DeviantArt shop or download it for quote-unquote free as part of my Patreon tier structure. Use Etsy coupon code 3star17 to get 17% off your purchase of 3 or more items. Additional promo codes are available to visitors of my Patreon. Watch these in action in the art show playlist of my YouTube channel or in the Cats Hit the Deck review playlist. Thanks for charm casting with me. The video you're here to watch starts now. Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. Hoping that my fan isn't too loud. Put it on the floor so it's not aimed right at the sound input on my camera here. Okay. So this is a reading for September for Earth signs. We have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. See if I can focus. I guess it's just my writing. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. It could be a little bit more focused. Yeah? Okay. I'm doing different spreads for the elements this month, so I'm not just doing the same one. So depending on your needs, you'll either watch or cross-watch for one of these signs or for the spread itself. And if you need more help, you want something a little less, saturated with energy from the public and more personal, the information for contacting me is down below in the description box, or you can contact me just through the link tree in general without even looking at that. So linktr.ee/CATtheMinion for the email contact, payment contacts, and the PDF of listings of the readings that I have and how much they cost and the extra stuff. If you are a member on my Patreon, you'll have access to discount rates for the tarot readings for uncertainty and woo tiers. I was running a sale this month for, I think, for catnip tier for tarot, limited time discount. The discounts for the higher tiers don't expire. So if you can get a reading, or you can join me on Patreon and get discount tarot readings of either this spread or any of the other ones. So we're doing Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Earth energy, however you're called to this. And the energy that I'm looking at is more specifically the equinox. So if you're in the northern hemisphere, we're doing the fall or autumnal equinox. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, all of our friends down under, we are doing spring equinox. The energies are a little bit different, but they tend to, they're flavored differently. One is spicy and one is sweet, one is sour and one is smoky. But it's giving you sort of the same situation. I keep trying to remember this quote from Beetlejuice, where they're reading the handbook for the recently deceased, and it's like, the parameters vary from manifestation to manifestation or something like that. I haven't watched that movie in maybe a year, so I don't remember exactly. The spread that I'm doing for Earth signs is called Roadblock Moguls. And we see here in the middle I've got my moguls, and it kind of... Some of the cards came out sideways, which is fine. It just means they're in the challenge position. And it makes it look like I'm trying to make book and bridge, and it's really distracting me. Okay. So that might be relevant to somebody watching. So I've got... This is your higher self level, or like the committee or your soul group. This is like a little bit higher than your waking self. So this is sort of like your 5D, and this is like the committee that's helping you run your life, right? The planning board, your guides, your angels, and this is sort of just you as an infinite being trying to deal with your own like personality. This down here is the 3D. This is how we interpret it. So it's the Roadblock Moguls is designed to find out what part of the message got garbled. Right? In this game of telephone, what was the original message? Because what we get might only be a couple things. You know, it's like, oh, we're having a costume party, come on Thursday. That might be what you hear. What's missing is the costume is being done in a specific way. Wait, we might be dressing up as world leaders. We're not dressing up like a slutty traffic cone or Buzz Lightyear. We're supposed to be dressed up like Genghis Khan or like JFK or like Nelson Mandela. And it's not on any Thursday, it's on this specific Thursday next month at 2 o'clock. But the specifics have gotten lost, so you're going to show up on the wrong day dressed as a Playboy bunny, like, what's her face there in Legally Blonde? Because the information that you're getting is only part of what it is. So it's not necessarily wrong, it's just misunderstood or incomplete. So the moguls is kind of like where the skis fell off, you lost a pole in the other direction. So by the time you get down the mountain, you've got, you know, the tip of your ski is missing, you've got a glove over there somewhere, and your goggles are cracked and your hat is missing, and you got a pole in a tree. But you might still get where you're going. Just kind of like WTF. And then I've got a follow-up card here. And then also I've got this arranged, so I've got clubs, hearts, spades, and pentacles. So we're going to be looking at what those energies represent. And this is a long explanation, but whatever. So this is spirituality, feelings, and intuition, basically. I mean, this is sort of gut instinct, and this is sort of like radio tower. Right, this is like my psychic intuition from the inside out, and this is psychic messages coming in, plus how I feel. And this is like my life purpose. Who am I? Like, who am I? What's important to me? Like, how do I think, and what's my body doing? All right, thoughts, perceptions, concepts, interpretation, communication, and this is resources, health, and so on. All right, so now that all that's done, and I'm practically hoarse, and I have a follow-up card over here. So I've got the Work Your Light Oracle, I've got my Kaleidos Club Nebula playing cards here, shiny. I've got the Wild Unknown Tarot. So I've got the other two decks also, but this is the Tarot with the black back. and the Mystical Shaman Oracle. Usually it takes me longer to come up with the name for that, so my brain forgets, okay? So I'm gonna go through them. I'll do them in line. So I'm gonna do with the higher, like the quorum of higher selves in control of your contract, mission control up here, and then we're gonna look at what's coming in the 3D, and then we're gonna look at what's missing in the middle. This is the search party for your stuff. Right. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Earth energy. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. I was watching myself back from something that I did recently with a reading when this came up, and I don't remember saying it, but I remember it from watching it back, that I was saying that this is how the masculine gives birth to something. And I was relating it to Athena coming out of Zeus's head. Right? He gave birth to a concept. He didn't give birth through... Zeus didn't give birth through his vagina, and he didn't give birth through his side. Right? You know, that like Remus and Romulus story where one of them came out the side? Well, what is that? That's a C-section. But this is more like the ideas are springing forth from my head fully formed. So whether that's masculine energy for this reading is yet to be determined. But there's a delay or confusion here. And I think when it's coming down from up here in this, what is my sole purpose, I think it's to me it seems like timing. Like I have this idea, but it has to be like Swiss watch timed, or it's not going to be able to come out. Like the air pressure has to be just right. The saline and the sanitary, like all of that has to be just right, because if one of those things is wrong, then the thing is going to shrivel up and die while it tries to come out. So it's sort of like I'm thinking of the movie Down Periscope, where the guy says the phrase pinpoint drill in the simulator. So that's what this is. But it's kind of like it's not really hurry up and wait. It's like learning how to release what you're trying to do at the right time so that it's in the right environment. Because you wouldn't want to plant your brand new baby plant out in the middle of a pile of snow in -40 weather with 30 miles wind. It's gonna die. It's like you want to put it in the right environment. You want to wait till the timing is right. So right off the bat we're getting, and then to see these stars, like I'm waiting for them to align. It also could be like multiple setbacks, or I'm afraid to reveal my idea to someone else. But whatever's going on, this sort of overhaul, new world, great idea thing is very fragile. Okay, so let's look at the emotional psi content. Can't tell if that's in focus. Hopefully it's pretty close. So this says Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, and divine plan. Now what was I talking about? I said seeding, right? Planting something. And notice that plan and plant are very similar. I'm planning something, but then if I want my plan to work, I have to plant the idea. This is a little bit about nurturing. And it's more of a care. Like, I'm going to be tender with my plant. I'm going to handle it gently and give it good soil and give it pleasant music to listen to and put it under a red lamp so it can stimulate growth. That kind of thing. This is a little bit about synchronicity. If I'm laying a foundation and I'm seeding something, I'm kind of growing it in a greenhouse until, in a hypersensitive environment, until the environment either becomes suitable for the plan, until the timing is right, or until the thing that I'm nurturing is strong enough on its own. And I think there might be some inner child work here too. But we'll see where that comes from. Because this is seeing very much like sacral energy, which is what I would expect to come in under fire. But the sacral is very wet. It's like a bowl of water. But it's still like fire. Where's my little cheat sheet here? I forgot to bring it out. So if we're looking at that energy, I believe, where are we? There's something that was fire but had water. Oh, it is judgment. Judgment is fire, but it's ruled by Pluto, which is scorpionic energy, which is water. It's a cauldron. So this is sort of like something is simmering, and I need to, I'm reducing my recipe by letting it simmer and letting the water rise up into the air. I'm transubstantiating older emotional content into wisdom. Okay. See what the thinking process here. So we have inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. I feel like these are sort of staggered in the wrong direction, because the inner temple should be where the heart is, and this kind of should be over here. So this is more like, when you think of the temple, you think of the sanctuary, and this is where something is sacred. We have the sacral chakra, which is what I was just talking about. Tuning in, which would be the receiver here. We have leaving the station, being received at the other station. Right? I'm sending a signal. I'm beaming something. And I think what's happening here is that when it says tune into the portal of your heart, it's saying don't overthink it. Don't try to make something of the message that it isn't. Sort of take what your heart is telling you at face value. Don't block the messages that you're receiving in your heart chakra. Let them flow upwards into the throat passageway. Right? It's like I'm looking from the heart chakra towards the throat chakra, and I'm saying, I'm not going to stifle the message. Which is kind of what's happening over here. This is like I'm warming up my throat. I'm like, la 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 la, like, getting ready to do my concert. I'm getting ready for my my speech. Right? I'm practicing my lines. Let's see what this manifestation is, because I like pull my card apart. So we have Pillar of Light. This came up recently in something. Probably one of the Patreon videos. But it was sideways. Here it's upside down. Your vibration is rising and you are the oracle. This is also coming in under confusion and delay. This kind of looks like a pelvic girdle, too. It also looks like a temple that's been destroyed. Pillar of Light. Oh, I was going to say this seems like reverberation or like vibrato on a note. Or sort of like something is opening and closing. It's like, but it's not going anywhere. You know, there's a limited expanse and then it contracts again. It's a little bit like being in broken record energy. But it has to do with, I was going to say it has to do with the physical body, but it's in terms of manifestation. It's sort of like the carrot, and I'm just about to grab the carrot, and then it's like, oh, and it's like, I can't get it. And this looks like I have to drop it through at exactly the right time, because it's like in a video game where some platform is like closing and opening, and you have to time it just right, so when you release, you don't land on all like the spike platform and get killed, and you go through down to the next level. So even this is about timing and about trusting yourself. And I think in terms of vibration, it's more like it's like getting like at the beginning of a race, when you have the people, they're got their feet on the little block and they're crouched over and they're ready to spring into action, and somebody's gonna like shoot off the gun or whatever noise it is now that starts the race, and it's like feeling the tension in your muscles and that like getting ready to spring into action. Which might be particularly relevant to people in Southern Hemisphere because you're going into spring. People in the Northern Hemisphere might be like, ooh, fall back. We're going into decay season. Now I'm going to have to start that indoor greenhouse again. But depending on, you know, your latitude or what the weather is doing. But it's not necessarily physical, like literally making plants, unless that's horticulture is in terms of changing vibration and enlightening people is something that you're doing. You know, I'm making less toxic food for people. We're going to be building a community garden. But it has to be timed just right so that there isn't like a police raid of people just trying to grow food for each other. You know, like I have to time it just right so I can get the permit before this person leaves office, or I have to wait until the person who isn't a douche comes into this town office so that I can get the permit to do the thing. That's more of a extra like a outside of the individual thing, but that's what's coming to mind. This is actually pretty deep, so let's see what's coming through on the physical plane for Earth signs. Let's move this a little. Oh come on. My tripod got soggy and it being difficult. Alright, I'm just gonna leave it at that, like, trying to get the foot to pop back up. I like that better. I didn't like the angle that it was at. I need a sip of water before I read those. Hopefully the fan won't blow them around. So what's coming through, again, this is sort of the higher dimensional program. Let's see what's coming through in the 3D. So we have the sun inverted. Now we just had the moon in Pisces. As sun energy inverted tells me the moon. It also kind of looks like a butthole. Like I'm clenched. Like I'm stressed out. I'm constipated. Right? I have a headache. Because I can't get out what I'm trying to get out. When I think... I saw some video, I don't know if it was a movie or like somebody on their YouTube channel, but it was like a pregnant lady and she's like, I feel like I have to crap. So it's like anything that feels like constipation. I had a great idea, but now it's gone and I can't think of it, and I'm straining my brain trying to figure out what it was. It was like, this isn't the best song in the world. This is just a tribute. Like, you can't even come close to it. It's obscure. I can't get it out of me. It's not coming through. There's a blockage. So instead of saying you have to time it just right, it's like I can't get it out. I'm stuck. I'm bound up. My core is bound up. And that can manifest physically. Again, like headache, constipation, everything on the Pepto-Bismol commercial, nausea, upset stomach, diarrhea, incontinence, impotence, cramps, dry heaves, acid reflux, ulcers, migraines. I would like to point out that this isn't medical advice. So, if you're experiencing any of that, don't just be like, oh, I need to turn my sun card around. You, might need medical attention from someone who's qualified. I will say, though, that, addressing energies of why you're experiencing stuff can help treat them in terms of the level of stress towards them, right? It's like, if I feel like this is a psychosomatic illness, then I can, focus on what my problem is while I'm getting medical treatment for my body freaking out. So we're not, this isn't medical advice, it's not really psychological advice, I'm using these cards to get a different perspective so that I can get out of this one track of internal screaming. Okay. I'm just saying that those are the kinds of symptoms that you could imagine would go along with the energy of blockage with a thing that looks like a sphincter. Oh, my gallbladder. The duodenum. Okay. It's like I've got a fever and the only prescription is more cowbell. I've got a tension headache. So here we have the Ten of Cups coming in here. And this looks like stage lights to me. It also looks like a cat's cradle game. You know, it looks like a bunch of telephones crossed over, right? Those string and cup telephones. I'm not getting the message clearly. You know, like an operator switchboard, like I just remember in Down with Love they had one. They've had them in other stuff too, like Lily Tomlin and everybody, but it's like so-and-so, one moment please, and like moving the wire, so-and-so, one moment please, like operator switch me to so-and-so. It's like chink 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 with the little plugs. So that's what this looks like. It's making me think, is it Jim Croce with the song Operator? Help me place this call. But then at the end it's like, there's no one here I really wanted to talk to. Thank you, you can keep the dime. So even though it's the Ten of Cups, it has this sense of kind of clusterfuck to it. But normally Ten of Cups would be contentment. But maybe the contentment is clarifying the message, opening up all the chakras, or the heart's contentment is building a network. I need to connect to other people. It's not just me. Right? This like I am a rock, I am an island thing isn't happening. And even when I said like a community garden there, this is bringing in another aspect of community. Right? I'm thinking of something outside of myself. And that's what makes me happy, to be connected to others. I'm just thinking of this Queen lyric. It's kind of schmaltzy. It's from Highlander, the Highlander soundtrack. Well, technically it's on A Kind of Magic, but essentially the Highlander soundtrack, because they had like one or two songs from the works on there too. But my heart calls out to your heart. I'm cold, but you light the fire in me. That's what came to mind. Alright, so let's look at the physical manifestation of the swords here. Justice. Kitty and kitty. Kitty, kitty. So notice how I said that something over here was like judgment, the sacral chakra, because it's fire, but it's water. Justice is like a lower vibration of that. In this deck it's 8, and sometimes it's 11. Now 8 is often... Is that... Wait, what am I doing? 8? Yeah, 8 is usually strength, which is the lion, which is sun energy. So in my head, I'm trying to balance things out. Like, I want to make it fair. And notice how I said something about, like, public permits and stuff. I'm using the courts to my advantage. But this might be something like, I'm holding court. I need to discuss things with other people. Or I'm trying to defend people who are not receiving justice. I'm speaking up for a balance. There's some aspects of things being black and white here. You can... Let me go. This could also be, you know, trying to deal with racism and speaking out against it. With this card in particular. I noticed that we're carrying this Leo energy here with the kitty cats. I don't feel like that's complete. I want to come back to that, though. And this Justice card only has the sword on it. It doesn't have the balances. Although, in theory, the cats would be the balances. It also looks like muscle fibers on a lot of these cards. But it's giving this similar linear thing. But it's very much like it's giving me, I'm tense in my body because I can feel these energies in my sinews. Right? What is a sinew? Cat gut. For, like, different, like, leather straps or strings on instruments or something. And he goes back to this gut energy. Solar energy. Oh, my thumbnails all screwed up. Let's see what this physical thing is over here. The Ace of Cups inverted. I'm depressed. I'm dejected. I feel like I'm losing everything. Now this Pillar of Light inverted. Vibration is rising. You are the Oracle. It's like the same thing happening as over here. Like, I need to have things critically timed. And the way I'm reacting physically is I'm stressed out and clenched up because I don't know when that is. This is, I have to, like, I'm trying to pinpoint this, but in reality it's making me feel depressed because it seems like every time something opens up, it just closes out again. Every time I finally get a drink of water, I put it to my mouth and the cup is empty. You know, it's not even a hungry ghost thing. It's like, it's like that dangling carrot. It's like, I'm just about to be fulfilled, but now, oh, it's poison. You know, I finally got a seat at the table, but they're not giving me any food. You know, I have to have the scraps of what's left over, and they're rotten. So we're clenched up and we're depressed, but in our heart we're manifesting contentment and speaking about equality and trying to interact with other people, but there's blockages that are saying you're depressed and bound up because there's no real movement. It's like go, 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 and now like a tree in your face. You know, you're just about to cross the finish line. You're about to win the race, and now all of a sudden you've got, you know, you've shat yourself because you pushed your body so hard, and you got a muscle cramp and fell over, and somebody else just crossed. And now they get all the stuff, and you're laying there, like, in pain, and, you know, your legs are all slimy. Which, you know, it happens. Sometimes the things just, like, the energy just snaps out, the string breaks, the cord cuts, and it's just, something happens. So let's look at what these blockages are. Okay, so this is how you're seeing it physically. This is what your higher self is struggling with to translate this etheric message into the physical for you. All right, so we have 10 of Wands upright. So right away, burden. I feel like I'm doing it all myself. I'm at my limit. Right? Like, am I done yet? 6 of Swords inverted, like, please, can I just leave? I need to get away from this. I can't, like, I'm like, run away, run away. It is inverted, though, which tells me Scorpionic energy. Again, I need that Plutonic energy. I need to go deeper. 16 is giving me Tower, so the one that's in challenge is the 2 of Swords. total 18 moon energy, which I was getting here. Two of Swords is a low vibration of Justice, which is a low vibration of the High Priestess. And Justice is related to Judgment, but they're slightly different energies. Judgment is more of a masculine energy, and Justice is more of a feminine one. You know, sort of like if Judgment was Hades, Justice is Persephone. Especially because she's got that, you know, 6 months of summer, 6 months of winter shit going on. It's not necessarily I can't decide, it's I can't perceive. Inconceivable. It's inconceivable. That's kind of weird. I want to see what these other ones are before I go back to that. It's inconceivable. Alright, so in the heart sector, so I got wands and wands. Two of Cups in the challenge position. It's like I want to connect to a person and I can't even connect to one person. It also could be like I feel cut off from nurturing, like where's my mommy? Eight of Swords inverted. So Eight of Swords is I want to break free card, and inverted it means that I am. That's interesting. And then I have the Jack of Cups inverted. This one I'm feeling is Knight of Cups inverted. Because it could be a page, but I'm feeling it Knight. Knight of Cups inverted. This one looks like a robot. Okay, no, I'm hearing Bad Blood by I think it's Neil Sedaka and Elton John there. I'm trying to remember the lyrics, it's kind of escaping me. The only thing about Bad Blood is letting it slide. The only thing good about Bad Blood is letting it slide. Something like the joke is on the run. Well, anyway, that song. But this looks like trying to make a connection with somebody who was jerking you around and sort of toxic, but walking away from it. Like, I've learned to discern people who are trying to siphon off my energy, and I'm ready to connect to other people. It feels like this is still, well, I mean, obviously this is blocked, but this is still problematic. Hydromatic? Why, it's grease lightning. What'd I say? Oh, inconceivable. Inconceivable. My soul being is, my core message is, I can't do it. Now I've got 3 planets in Capricorn, and my biggest problem is, it's not that I can't do it, it's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I don't understand what my life purpose is. So it's not like, this is inconceivable, I can't do this. It's literally, it's inconceivable because my brain does not know what it is. You know, it's like the dog at the desk, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Right, so it's either like, this is bullshit, or I don't understand it. And this is, you know, everybody plays the fool sometime, but like I'm wise to your game here. Which is weird that there's a sort of personal love relationship issue coming in here. It's a little bit like, oh, well, you don't want me, then I'm gonna belong to everybody. You don't want me, you're not gonna talk to me, I'm gonna talk to every fucking buddy else. I'm gonna make my own community, and because I don't have time on you if you're just gonna, you know, turn me like a trick, basically. Right? Knight of Cups inverted, that's, you know, it's not as hostile an X as inverted Knight of Wands or inverted Swords, but it's pretty, especially with the Eight of Swords here, like I was tied up with it. I felt trapped. It's not necessarily like abusive relationship necessarily, although certainly emotional abuse does happen. It's like you weren't mature enough to emote in a real manner. It's sort of like you kicked my heart around like a football because you didn't understand what value it is to feel for someone else. So there's this, like, you hurt my heart, but it's also like, because you were a dumbass, right? You were like a robot. You, like the No Feels 2000. And whether that's like a program that's being run for you, or it's something that actually manifested, the physical manifestation is I want to make a network of people, whether that was before this or because of this. It does seem to be related. And again, this is something coming from your higher self. So it's laying a foundation of some way. The seed might be cracked, but with enough care and elements poured back into it, we water it enough at the right time and make sure it's vibrating with its surroundings, the seed will still grow. You know, it's like, we found this seed that we haven't seen in 5,000 years in this thing that we just dug up. Let's plant it and see if it does something. That's what's going on here. Alright, let's see what the thought process is. Eight of Cups inverted. So even though I'm breaking free of this sort of tied to one person, I'm not willing to let go of all this poison that I've been drinking yet, which is why I'm still drinking this poison. So I got pink now. I drank your poison because you told me it's wine. And I think the other song, it's a different song. It's like something like, we opened up the wine, but we should have drank it down while it was still sweet. You know, because it got all sour. So now we have the Ace of Cups. Oh, it is inverted. I'm so confused for a second. So the Ace of Cups inverted, looking like the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Spades! I got the Bee Gees, like, how can we make
a broken heart. Hey me, hey me, hey me. That one. Nine inverted hearts is like Nine of Swords. It's depression and anxiety, and we see that coming out over here in the body. Like I'm all like sad and droopy. This other card is the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Wands. Defensive position, you can't come in here. And it's coming in under Inner Temple. Devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. This is a little bit like, I want my comeuppance. This isn't fair. And I'm not letting anyone in until I get some kind of justice for this. This is a little bit like, somebody come and play with me, I'm all by myself. Nobody wants to play with me. But still, this is coming out as contentment in the physical. And I'm starting to wonder if that's an act, because we have stage lights. Ooh, shit just got real. In our family portrait, we look pretty happy. It's another Pink song, right? I'm happy on Instagram. But what I really want is some kind of justice for being trounced on. You know, like, I'm doing okay, I'm fine. Like, look at me, I'm happier now. But it's... I'm trying to communicate, or I'm trying to... Like, I need to speak on what's fair and what's not fair. I'm trying to force my life to become fair from what was not fair, while trying to expand community and not letting anyone in because my heart is mangled and I'm sort of dwelling on this toxicity. Like, I'm free from it, but I'm stressed out by it. Like, I haven't taken down your pictures on the walls inside of my heart yet. That's that energy. And I'm depressed. And my butthole is clenched. And I've had to tie up... I've tangled up my story by presenting that I'm fine to everyone around me, so that they won't run away and I can try to do my community. But it's hard. Like, how am I supposed to do this? Four of Wands inverted, right? Building shit right now. It's unstable. Inconceivable, unstable. Ten of Pentacles in the challenge position, right? It's not stable. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overstimulated. Here we go. I'm overstimulated. And I'm having a hard time manifesting because I don't feel stable. And the last one is the Nine of Pentacles. This is usually all the single ladies card. Like Mistress Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? This sort of looks like a table. And again, notice how I said that you're allowed to be at the table, but nobody's giving you anything. Right? I'm getting table scraps. They put me at the kitty table. Not the kitty. The kitty. You know, like, oh, you're not really one of us. Go over here with the people that we don't want to talk to. Do you even go here? So, you know, like, we're a group and you don't belong here. But it's sort of coming from your own perspective. You know, it's like, how can you be outside of a group that you're the one that's building? You know, it's like you build something from the ground up, and then the next day you come in and someone's changed the locks and taken over and claimed that it's theirs. Which is a little bit sketch. It's sort of like, it's like timing, like somebody shut down your whole thing. And I don't really understand why that's happening, except for terms of timing. And this idea of things like closing and opening, and you have to learn what the timing is for that until you can drop through. You know, it's like you'll be rejected at this table of getting of manifesting what you're trying to manifest, unless you sort of sneak into the table and grab a plate when everybody's head is turned the other way for 2 seconds. And then once you're there, they haven't noticed, but they see you if you come in. You know, sort of like you have to suddenly appear out of nowhere as if you've been there the whole time. But if they see you coming, then they'll be like, get out of here. It's interesting. It's not really fake it till you make it. It's just like, it's like, it's not even beaming. It's just like appearing out of thin air in the place where you want to be, as if you belonged there the whole time. It's sort of like once you've been photographed at the table, nobody can tell you that you don't belong there. That's kind of fucked up. Okay. I don't know what this reading is doing. Okay, so we have the Child inverted. So we have number 7. This is sort of the wrap-up, and I wasn't going to read the book, but I think I'm going to have to, because I haven't gotten this card that many times. And I like to read, when these are upside down, it's called the Medicine, and I want to see what that is for this card. Notice how I said this might have to be something to do with the inner child. And it's also giving me this innocence lost here. You know, I'm not trusting everybody, even though I want to build a community. I'm not letting people in necessarily. You know, I haven't had my ribbon cutting ceremony yet. Let me see how the medicine is for that. Go all the way to the bottom of the books. Nice stack of stuff here. I was like, oh, I don't need the book today. Oh, here we go. The child knows the way to joy and happiness. The child offers the return of a second innocence, a time born of wisdom and not of naivete. Notice I was talking about wisdom here. The card allows you to correct your course and offers you a second chance. It brings you the possibility of redemption and entering heaven while on earth. Isn't that? Dreaming a new world into being. You are the oracle. Okay, so what is the medicine here? Inverted, we have medicine. The child comes to show you how you can correct the course of your life without being punished. Okay. Set yourself free from your conditioning for suffering. Oh, okay. So this is, I want to be free of it, but I'm still suffering. You were born unfettered and happy, and can be so again if you make the choice right now. The child will help you climb out of the hole you may have dug yourself into to recover your sense of play. This is a little bit like musical chairs over here. You know, this game sucks, I don't want to play it anymore. But there's an opportunity here that says, you know, we're starting a new game. You might have an opportunity to win this time. Because the timing is different. Like, what have you learned before? I've learned that someone else didn't play fair and I got hurt. They're always cheating. There hasn't been an open space where anyone could come in and sit at this table. It's, you can't sit here. You know, you can't make that play. We don't play by those rules. We're thinking about bridge too, right? There's usually sort of standard rules, but even if you think of even something like Monopoly, there's usually house rules too. You know, and if you're playing poker, there's different games of poker that could be played. You know, like it used to be like 5-card stud, and now we're doing Texas Hold'em. You know, and the thing is, if you've anteed, then you can play. It's not just like, oh, we don't want you to sit at this table. It reminds me a little bit of the movie Maverick, where he's like, I promise I will lose for an hour. And then everybody got mad because he learned their tells, and then he was able to, you know, win some money. But this is like, I've lost too much already, I don't want to play anymore. And this is like, no, you've gained wisdom by observing how other people play. So it's not going in totally naive. It's saying, I do want to play. I want to expand my community. But the fairness is that I have the wisdom to know that, you know, if someone is stroking their chin, that means they're about to cheat me. If someone is, you know, tapping the table, they're going to try to block me from being over here. They're going to pull an ace out of their sleeve that's not even from the same deck to try to cheat. And I'm like, I'm not going to play that shit anymore. So this is sort of very complex, because it's all about timing and trusting yourself to know that you have enough information and enough desire to sort of, it's sort of like, I'm going to beat this level. I've been playing this for 6 weeks and I've died 12 times, and I'm ready to throw the TV through the window and, you know, pour gasoline on the controller and torch it in the barbecue pit. You know, I wanted to destroy everything in a 2-mile radius because I'm trying to beat this fucking boss. But then you're like, you know what? I think today's the day. I'm gonna beat this thing. And you get in there and you're playing for like 2 hours to get to the frickin' boss, and you finally got the timing right, and you just you know, get in there, you do the jumps, you get the weapons right and everything, and you beat the game. And this is kind of what it's talking about. It's like this discouragement from being able to put out what you're trying to manifest and have it stay, to have it sort of be allowed in society, because past experience said you can't sit here, you can't go any further, you missed this jump and now you're dead. It's like having the courage and the, like, oh well, you know, that round sucked, but let me see if I can do it this time. I know, just like this time I'm finally gonna get it. You know, it's like this thing of like, oh well, I used to just be able to do anything. I'd pick it up right away, and I hate, and it's like now I hate being a noob. I don't like learning new stuff. This is the experience. This is the, I've learned, I've mastered my art. So now if somebody's gonna come and hit me with a table and try to poke me in the eyeballs and rip out my spleen, now I can block, and then I'm gonna, you know, rip his eyeball out with my toes or something. It's like I've learned, it's not necessarily I've learned defense, it's like I've learned to deflect the energy. I've learned to pass through an attack. Right. So my battery is dying, and that's the meat of the reading here. That's what it's about. I started playing to win. It's not really. It's kind of like that. It's like I've learned more by experiencing these different kinds of setbacks, so that I know how to handle difficulties. I know how to strategize. I'll already have plans in place. So that I don't have to spend more time later if things become difficult. Then I'll have my strategies already. I'll know from experience what works and what doesn't, and when the timing is correct. I'll have opened up the passageways. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna end it there. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye. CATtheMinion energy work is focused on building a community around creativity and connectivity. Connect to new friends, the universe, and yourself. Shift your perspective of everyday life. Alleviate the stresses of daily life by tapping into self-expression. Help me build my offerings around your needs by investing, interacting, and brainstorming new things we can do. Your financial contributions via donations, purchases of goods and services, and participation on Patreon allow me to pay mundane bills, upgrade to better interactive services and equipment, and to buy art supplies and materials. Additionally, your support helps me pay it forward to charities, other energy workers, and artists, and to gain more visibility so our community can reach even more who need it. You can find a number of the goods and services I offer by clicking the links from my website, CATtheMinion.wordpress.com, or from my link tree, depending on your preference, linktr.ee/CATtheMinion. I'm offering original art pieces, digital downloads, art prints, merch, tarot readings, divination tools, templates, coloring books, a dark poetry book, YouTube content, self-care encouragement, and more.